Ghana for Mobekai Ablikuma not rerun and as a re-election course no nkofuna omotushe Hawa Koomson so mame Hawa Koomson so another dafuma no muni say no more Bruno said then you court ni nkwa na obetumi determine say omobon ana say omopian no to fum whichever way it is no sa nkofuna omoye sa nyamransem no Hawa Koomson omobon no sa nkofuna nyina no si ano makwa kopi mu court na amapo bebre na maba abontin echi omadwen say Hawa Koomson nema bi oye kane no sefatan ade ombode ye ne sefatan pa because kane no Akufo-Addo NPP fo aban no ba so no anase kane no NPP na omote akonwa so no ye na Nadwodan Akufo-Addo ne Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia omote akonwa so no Hawa Koomson niama na oye under ne party for power no na no odin it is NDC for so abana so mo ye ni bia o sefata pa because on no so cause violence pa in NPP for regime or for we and ya man for bebre na agin chi omo so mo dey back concerning Hawa Koomson nkofo 8 na omo to share no so no mo bro no do manko dey go tin nsema e koso concerning Hawa Koomson the case number is Ghanatube so
that point about the character in question as well, or the person, because Martin makes a strong point about
that's too much.
Hawa Koomson also now
untouchable in the Akufo-Addo's government. The police must go into it. She has to be brought to book for all the violence she made in that constituency. You know, that's what emboldened there. I'm sure she was still under the impression that she was still in the Akufo-Addo's government. So, Kasua Commando, she could go there and do what she did, right? Yeah, so if she's brought to book, all the mayhem she caused, right? The torment, commanding police, getting them to arrest Nakoyo, all those things, the deaths. No, we have to really get into that. Otherwise, no, there will never be any sense of justice in Ghana if Hawa Koomson is not brought to book for those things.
Yeah, you see, the point I was making earlier was that we have not treated political violence with the necessary responses. So Martin, my friend, is making a very important point. He says when it comes to some of these things, there is even room in the law, okay, for arbitration and for you to go and beg the person that kind of thing. This is not what that was intended for.
What was this intended for?
So in criminal law, okay, generally it's the state against you. But when you have done something against somebody, let's say, you know, in the course of doing something inadvertently, even if you intended to, you hurt somebody, all right, you knock somebody down, you poured somebody's, you know, property down, etc., and you are remorseful, okay, and you can say, oh please, even though I am criminally liable for this, I am sorry, this and that and that. You can go to the person, make some restitution, at least talk to the person, agree with the person, all right, so that the person can withdraw as a complainant against you. And when that happens, the state also will not proceed to prosecute you. To that extent, therefore, the jurisprudence of it is that with certain types of crimes where the party is remorseful, it's not necessary when the person can go to the other person and resolve it for the state to take it up and jail the person.
Even in a criminal matter?
In a criminal matter, yes. That's what, you know, we don't have time to explain all that. So it is there. Now, my problem is, this does not apply to political violence. It doesn't apply to a man flying in attacking.
No, it was assault. The charge was assault under section 84. Assault is a misdemeanor and it qualifies under the court.
Martin, I hear you. And this one, the law we understand. But what I'm saying is, this kind of assault is not the normal kind of assault where you have hurt somebody and you want to settle with the person because it was inadvertent. This is a man flying to attack a woman. It is aggravated assault. Yeah, okay, so my point is, and again, we don't want to turn this into a law school, but political violence, in my humble view, is not the type like what you saw, where ADR should resolve it. You are just talking about what Hawa Koomson did in the past, which hasn't been dealt with, and therefore it is repeating itself. We should treat all those things as serious. Again, note something. Political violence can easily deteriorate into other things. You have wars up north. People are fighting. Okay. Sometimes when you add politics to that, somebody shoots somebody's child. Then they come and revenge in Abobloshi. Before you know, there's fighting here and there. In Sierra Leone and Liberia, they can give you many examples how mining, what I'm saying, of diamonds, okay, connected to political violence, ended up in a civil war. Okay, we are talking about somebody like Hawa Koomson, who Martin clearly is saying should be dealt with because she has a certain history. Do you think the way we are treating these kinds of violence will stop people like her? If we are dealt with her well in the past, maybe we wouldn't have had a repeat. The way we dealt with these people, I say, these gentlemen have a criminal record. Their fines are going to be paid by the people who procure them. But the people who procure them will procure a different set of people in the next election. So we need to treat political violence differently. Because it is not personal. The person hasn't hurt you, hasn't done anything. In the name of politics, you go and people die.
Not misdemeanor, but
it should not be a misdemeanor.
An aggravated assault.
It is aggravated assault. We shouldn't treat it with political violence at all.
This is the Vigilantism Act.
Yes. Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Treat it as it is because it is serious.
Yes, this is progress, but it's not one.
Not enough progress. It won't stop political violence. We should give political violence the necessary color so that people who are engaged in it know that if you do this, you get 15 years like a grant.
I think that Kofi's point has been well made, and I don't think any of us here should disagree.
We agree.
I mean, we agree that they've gone according to the law. I would think something better can be done to deter, to prevent people from. I mean, if you are supposed to dive and go and hit a woman like this, and afterwards you pay 6,000, people will pay 1 million and do it. If they are very, very, interested in what they want to do again. So I think that it's about time we took a second look at some of these sanctions with a view to upgrading or making them more punitive so that there can be more
in the manner of justice would have been roundly served. Going back to look at, for instance, the actions of Hawa Koomson in this instance in the past, and how that could have influenced what happened.
I think I wanted, in fact, there is a part of me that wanted to say, I mean, of course, you can disagree with me. There's a part of me that wanted to say that let sleeping dogs. No. Let me finish. There's a part of me that wanted to say that, Martin, to the extent that this particular administration has shown that it will not tolerate or countenance such practices, and to the extent that I believe that this will be a lesson for President Mahama, is noted for being the same president who sent his own appointee to jail, Abu Gapile. And so people did this to benefit his party and said, no, we will not sit down to allow this thing to fester, so let's crack the whip. And I want to believe that this would serve also as a lesson to successor regimes, that yes, you speak to your people, and when people run afoul of the rules, you allow the laws to take their own course. So I was going to say that if others are going to learn, then let us allow sleeping dogs. But of course, you are within your right to say that. No, this one is my impunity is beyond imagination. This is my own view. If not once, not twice, if as a nation, if as a nation we feel that we should crack. But I'm asking. So what has happened to the outcome of investigations? Crime we are told has no exactly, and so what if you are because they were in power, she's very close to Kufuado's body, so they shut up the police. Okay, now Kufuado is not in power. The police hierarchy has Mr. IGP earlier on. I felt that I would allow sleeping. No sleeping. If in the wisdom of the good people of Ghana and the panelists here, I mean, I don't know what you are saying about it, but if you think that the IGP can go back into the matter and also bring her to book. I mean, I'll pander to superior wisdom about some of these things. If we get to that, it will be a great lesson to Ghana. That is a violent woman who has been dealt with, and then through you, people have died. Exactly. Now you are talking prop. People have died. She shed blood. She shed blood, and you are saying she should be brought to book. You see, but you see, it's just that the way manner she was
attacked. Okay, you know, generally as a people growing in a democracy, I think gradually we are all being socialized into the fact that, look, there are certain people you don't want to harm, women and children. I mean, once you do that in a society where people's heads are properly screwed on, eyebrows will be raised. And I'm not saying that if you kill a human being or if you supervise or through you human beings die, eyebrows shouldn't be raised. It appears that among all of us, we agree that the way and manner the woman was attacked, you know, raised eyebrows. And for me, that's how come when those perpetrators were dealt with, I thought that we could just allow things to lie. But if, like I said, we all think that the woman must also have answer some questions during the past record of violence and abuses and human rights abuse. If you think that she must answer questions, then IGP, you are there. I think the dockets may be there. You can just go back for them and ensure that the right thing is done. So that we are talking about deterrence today, so that it will deter other people who would always want to use the cloak of partisan protection to be doing things and to be violating human rights abuse simply because they think that the appointing authorities or the commander-in-chief will be shielding them. I think we can go that route if we all think that that's the way to.
I see, because I think we are separating the issues. Her history does not justify the attack on her. I think that's
I agree with you. And we have to be careful how we bring out issues of historical past with this particular discussion. Circumstances differ. So if we want to investigate any matter, whether Hawa Koomson or any other person, let's look at circumstances within which the actions took place. So we are now judging her, I think, by what happened to her. Somebody went to attack her at a police station, and we are kind of saying, yes, perhaps this is also part of what she did in the past.
No, nobody said that.
Okay, so I want to say that we should not bring in her matter to justify what happened to her at that. I believe those matters have been also.
Otherfore, when they in some idea, Hawa Koomson in some idea, and you can was you see, she really maybe must say, near man or ye caneno, a wana bang, NDP a bang, my emphasis I didn't justify saying, a sefatano, I don't want the end, a sefatano, that be a sea. Or your bad time, or your bar okitankola, or just say, or abadai, what as my money said, a mad ye, or me a very fragile kakra, into the morning say, mad, you can say, Bema, Mema, Baku 8. But to watch or Baba Kosu, on Besom Bruno, Sanya Manyaman is unacceptable in our society. And to know, and you can say, a year a member can think Baku our 8. So be to watch or Baba Kosu, or Munqua at the then Ambassador Bruno. Then I why Ambassador Bruno the 4. But Bibrina say, she deserves it because time and the parties war power, no yamo year and a cranet chingwe, or the 4. Only amount for your dream say, just how I come Sadia the end, no, as a fatana, the 4. Say, oh, assembly, and that's what comment be a who comment section. Now, making can in now, we're gonna to more for aha, and I made in seminar base memory if you like it. No more subscribe and no more share my notification bonus on my send a bear. I'll bring you a BB content say a woo, when you're temper watching with your mother for aha, and I made in seminar base or Ghanatube so. Macramina, Madame Nasi Baby.